Talking about the birthright citizenship decision that just came down minutes ago from the Supreme Court. As expected, the court upholds birthright citizenship with all its flaws. With all the I know, someone just comes in, puts their foot in and has a baby, that's a citizen, entitled to all the services, social and otherwise. Yes. Yes, it's constitutionally enshrined. The court had no inclination to tinker with that. Now, we're waiting to read through it. Is there a loophole here? Is there something with a phrase subject to jurisdiction that would allow Congress to get involved? And maybe there's a way to turn this in Donald Trump's favor. But as of now, as of 10:45 Eastern Time, did not go Donald Trump's way. By the way, this is no surprise because everybody who observes the court, all the pundits, all the talking heads said there's no fences up around the Supreme Court. They're not getting ready for any big protests, so it's not going to go Trump's way. All right, watching all of this with us is former Rhode Island Supreme Court Justice Bob Flanders, who joins me on my radio show. He's with me now on the phone. Judge Flanders, what's your thought on the ruling that just came down?
Well, Gene, I'm not surprised by the ruling, although I haven't yet read it. I'm anxious, as I'm sure all of us are, to understand what the reasoning is and what the split is in the vote, and in particular whether there's room, as you suggested, under that subject to the jurisdiction exception for Congress to weigh in as to whether this makes any sense, because I think there's a very good argument as to why it doesn't make sense to allow anybody that is in the country illegally to have a baby and claim citizenship, because we've never allowed just being in the country alone to be the dispositive factor in deciding whether anyone is a citizen. For example, children of ambassadors, children born to Indians, people here because they're the wives of illegal invaders during the War of 1812. None of these people are citizens, even though they might be subject to the jurisdiction in one sense, but not for citizenship purposes. So I'm anxious to see what the court's ruling will be on that and whether there's any wiggle room for Congress to weigh in here.
Yeah, 14th Amendment, Judge. I had Alan Dershowitz on earlier, and he said it had to do with slavery and making sure that we counted free slaves as whole citizens. Nothing to do with a person from Mexico or any other country stepping over having a baby, or a Chinese tourist who comes in with that express purpose. Go ahead and take it.
Yeah, no question that was the purpose and the catalyst for enacting this amendment, which was part of the post-Civil War amendments and the enactment of the 14th Amendment. So Professor Dershowitz is absolutely right. But the language, unfortunately, is potentially broader than that, and it sounds like, just from the result you announced, that the Supreme Court has bought into that. But again, without studying the opinion yet, I don't know whether there's some room to go away from. But it makes no sense to encourage illegal aliens to come here to have anchor babies, so-called, just to get American citizenship. So that's a powerful practical reason why it doesn't make sense.
Just go back to this phrase, subject to jurisdiction. If a tourist comes over, lands in New York, Kennedy Airport, aren't they subject to our jurisdiction? What's the fine line between that?
Well, in one sense they are. If they commit crimes while they're here, then sure, they could be prosecuted for those criminal acts while they're here, even though they're citizens of another jurisdiction. But it's possible that you could be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States for some purposes, like criminal enforcement, but not for purposes of citizenship, because, as I said, there have been exceptions all along, and the precedent that everybody keeps talking about had to do with somebody that was here legally, born to parents that were here legally, and that's certainly not a case for someone that is here illegally. So that could be a potential distinction. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what the opinion actually says, Gene.
Well, it was a heavy lift to ask the court to tinker with the Constitution. They don't seem inclined to do that. If possibly they're going to pass it along to Congress, that would be the next chapter here. All right. Former Rhode Island Supreme Court Justice Bob Flanders. Judge, thanks for joining me.
Yep. Glad to do so, Gene. Thank you.
Good. We'll follow up once we've all digested the ruling. If you're just joining us, the ruling just coming down is the Supreme Court in Washington just handed down the birthright to citizenship ruling, and it upholds the right. If you're born here, you're a citizen, whether your mother just crossed the line illegally or however it happened. If you're born here, you're a citizen entitled to all the rights and protections a citizen has. And this has to do with Chinese tourists. There's an industry, Chinese tourism, Chinese birth tourism. And we all know what's going on in the border, but it was a heavy lift for the Supreme Court to change that. It's enshrined in the Constitution. We're all waiting to hear, though, if there's going to be a loophole subject to the jurisdiction of. Will that be a way for Congress to tinker with it and at least tighten it up at some point? That'll be the